Jesper, it's been a rough week for you guys. What does the way that your team performed and the result that they were able to get tonight say about this group?
Yeah, I have, all the credit in this world has to go to our players, because this week has been, it has been very rough. I could say maybe some funny words, but it's not appropriate here. But I think that it's been a very rough week. I think that the players, what they did today was exceptional. And it was also, you sometimes need a little bit of luck. Of course you do. And they got 2 cents off, and, that changed everything. Of course it did. But they gave everything they had in the body on the pitch. We could see how tired everybody was also in the break. And, it's been very difficult. I think the result was great. I stand by my opinion that I would have preferred this game not to be played. I'll not be hypocrite sitting after a 3-0 win and just say everything is perfect, because I don't think so. All our players were cleared to play medically, but they haven't. We had players first day of training after Mexico, after a long trip to Mexico was yesterday, and I think the preparation was not. It was not good, and I think, as a coach, I was very concerned about the players' health, and of course it also, when we have that many players out, then we don't have much margin. We played 25 games in 3.5 months, and we have managed actually only to have 1 injury with the goalie. Have we had 3 or 4? I don't know what we should have done, and we can also bring a lot of MLS Next players, and they are big talents. But for me as a head coach, I don't think their first experience should be getting in MLS game, fighting for maybe a low defeat or something. I'm so proud of the players. Every credit to them from my side. I think they did everything. I will leave it here with the game, but I think that it's, had it been up to me, we hadn't played this game. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about how your tactics changed as a coach heading into this game, just based on the players that were available to you?
Yeah, of course we looked at, I've never looked less on a team than Seattle. That's not just to say, because I think they're a great team. I think from what I've seen, they're a great coach. They have some very good players. We also saw today, we came 1-0 to halftime, but it might as well have been behind, but that's football. But we had to figure out who was available, who could be available. We didn't even know until yesterday how a starting lineup could be or should be. So for us, it was more about, normally we have a high pressing, high intense play. We couldn't do that because the players didn't have the power to do it. In this game, we knew we had a limited bench. If you can talk about it, we have some great young players, and they will have great futures in football. But today maybe also bringing a lot of them at the same time is too much. So we had to economize with the powers we had physically. So we had to go lower. We had to play more defensive. We had to be more of a counter-attacking team and rely a little bit more on a slow-paced game where we normally would like to have a high-paced game.
Jesper, with the roster being depleted, it was an opportunity for players to step up. Jven stepped up today. How impressive was his showing, and what did you see from him that was positive tonight?
Yeah, Jven is a lucky player because he has a coach that actually sees his talent, and I think that he just has to show it. I think he has, and today he did. And also, of course, then it's up to us in the coaching staff to also give him the opportunities. But I think that he's a young player. Haven't played much until this season, but I think that he's very fast around the pitch. He's very strong against the ball. He has better time on the ball than most players in the central area because he moves his feet so fast. And then he normally has he can run forever, but he was also sick during the week, so he was not at his best. But what I saw today was promising. He played well together with his teammates, and that's the most important thing when I look at it. It's not about getting in and playing a very good individual game. It's about getting in, playing well with the rest of the team, and show that you can fill out the position. And of course, the goal made it special, right? So for a young man and scoring at home, it's beautiful.
What was the league's response to what the Whitecaps were going through this week? And were you guys adequately heard in your maybe request to have this game postponed or moved?
Yeah, that's not for me to. That's questions for others than me. I think you can have that with Axel. He's been in contact. I've been focusing on the decisions made and getting the players prepared and try to do everything that I could to help the players be best possible in this game.
Jesper, at what point this weekend did you actually know who was going to be available and who your starting 11 was going to be?
An hour after training yesterday, we had an idea, but we had to get people cleared, and some of the players were in for the first time yesterday. We had to see their reaction on the training session. So I think, and then up until today, we didn't really. Yeah, something could happen, right? So we had some players ready, and we said this is the starting lineup. If this and this happens, then we'll play with this and this guy instead. But we had a good idea yesterday. It looked okay in the training session, I think, and then afterwards we had to see what was the reaction. And then, I wanted to start with the players that were in doubt, that were doubtful, because then we can take them out. But if you have them on the bench, and then you put them in, and then they can't go, you have to use 2 substitutions. So I would rather make quick substitutions if they couldn't go, and then, take it from there.
Goals today for Daniel Rios and Damir Krylak. Important for them to get scoring, but with Brian being away. Just talk a little bit about just getting them on the score sheet, what that's going to mean to this team now over the coming weeks.
No, it's great. It's great as a striker and attacker, right? If there's nothing better than see your strike go in, and it's it's what you work hard for, seeing, and it's what you dream of every day. You want to score goals. That's what you, also often what you are measured up upon, right? So I think that it's great. It's great for the team that we have confidence in other players scoring goals. We have been a team that has scored a lot of goals in between a lot of different players. So I think that's been good. But I also happy for them because I know how much they work on it, and every player wants to score a goal every game. But especially for strikers, it's important that they have the feeling themselves and get confident.
Jesper, in the formation that you played, which was we were trying to figure out through the course of the first 25 minutes of the game, at least for myself, and very interchangeable. You anchored it with 3 center backs, Inutvik, Ranko, and Blackman. And of course, the thing that Seattle likes to do, particularly when they get in the opponent's third, is really pass and move quite quickly with a lot of wall passing and so forth. Give us your thoughts, particularly with Priso and Jven being in front of them as buffering those 3. How important it was to try and take things away a little bit from the Sounders, and then allow yourself then to be able to counterattack.
Yeah, we wanted to see if we could avoid them playing through our middle. I think they're very good at combining through the middle, and then they have some players that can break through on the sides as well. But they're very good playing through the middle, and we just wanted to take out the possibilities they have to playing in there. So when they played through our middle, we wanted to be close to each other so we could attack the ball immediately. Because if we forced the ball to the side, maybe we could deal with the crosses with 3 strong center backs, and then Johe, of course. So I think that was the idea. It worked out okay. They had some opportunities in the first half. Of course, it wasn't perfect. I didn't expect that. I also told the players that they had a little bit more freedom because we choose to change formation. We thought that was the best thing, but we could not expect it to be perfect without training it that much. So I think everybody and we grew into it even as the game went on. So I think that it was good. But yeah, also to protect Jven and Ralph, make sure that they didn't have too much running to do going too far out to the sides. So I think it was just trying to get the puzzle to fit.
Jesper, how do you prepare for some more games coming up that they're all on the road and still with a depleted squad with players on international duty?
Yeah, of course it's tricky. We're gonna have players out next time as well, and of course I think it's great for our players that they're with the national teams. Of course it is, but it doesn't help us right now. So we have to figure out how we want to approach games, and it's gonna be maybe a little bit more different from game to game. We've been very, very good at maintaining the same style and the same way of playing with some nuances, differences. But now, of course, we have to see. Maybe also be a little bit more, think a little bit more about who we are playing, because sometimes I think it can be even more difficult for us to force a game on our terms. But we have to see how we're gonna do. But the good thing is that we have had a good season so far, so we have some margins to play with right now, and of course it's difficult, but it's sports. It should be difficult.
I think, Coach, you spoke about just what Jven brought on the ball, but you spoke about what Jven brought on the ball today, but also, like you mentioned, he wasn't physically 100% yet. Right in the 65th minute, I think it was, he made a big run, cramped. He was kind of just giving it all when he scored. He was, grabbing the badge and what it means. Just kind of speak about the heart that he brought in this game, and he's a local kid and what that sort of energy can do for a team.
No, but it's great. It's great. You have to put all out when you're on the pitch. We also talked about that yesterday. That this is football. This is tough, but we shouldn't feel sorry for ourselves. We have to put everything on the pitch and then see how it goes, and then believe in ourselves. And we've been good so far. So we shouldn't doubt anything. And then, of course, we put out, a little new system also. I think Jven played in a position that's very good for him in the 6-6, where he also has a little bit more freedom to go forward, but still very strong inside in the pocket. And it's just great when a young player, you can see how much it means for him to score. And, it's the beauty of it. And I'm very happy for him, because I've also been a little hard on him as of late, because I think that he needs to push a little bit more. He has a good talent, and he needs to. He's not just in the squad. He needs to push to get into the team as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, when they went down to 9 men, Jesper, what was really the first thing, the message you wanted to get across to the players? Was possession and ensuring that you kept possession and really having to make Seattle work with their 8 outfield players to try and get the goal off of you. One of the key things you wanted to try and do, and that was sort of at 1-0 and with 9 men.
Yeah, I think that was very important that we went for scoring, because you don't want to end up all of a sudden they get a free kick or they get a corner kick or something, and all of a sudden you make a mistake, and then you don't have time to score the winning goal in the end, and you concede a goal at some point. So very important that we go for scoring more goals, and then that we kept possession. There was they couldn't cover the width of the pitch because they had to be a little bit more narrow. So we just kept the ball, kept possession, and had very good positions behind the ball, so they couldn't counter us. They had one opportunity where it was a tight situation. He went down. Ranko didn't touch him, but that can happen. So it's very important that we go for scoring, and so that also makes them stop believing and maybe pull a little bit off, right? So I think that was the message. We didn't do it very well in the beginning. I think that we made some stupid, shots from 30 meters and stuff like that. Instead of just playing the chances bigger, then we just gave them the ball in a couple of set play situations. But we figured it out. I also know that the players were very, very tired at that point. So we figured it out and end up and doing it okay.
Thank you.
You okay? Yeah.